Hello everyone and thanks for watching Edupedia World videos. In this session of atomic structure, we'll study wave particle duality. Okay, so first, what is wave particle duality? Well, you have already seen what electromagnetic waves are, okay, and how can we perceive electromagnetic radiations and what they feel like. Alright, but the problem was increasingly more and more experimental observations were obtained, which led to the belief that a wave can also act as a particle. Alright, so in this session we'll try and understand what those observations were, and in the next subsequent sessions we'll understand what do we mean by this wave particle duality. Alright, for now let us see that how the electromagnetic radiations, the light ray which we see, okay, or the light ray which we cannot see but which we can feel, has two different behaviors. One behavior is like, say, a particle behavior like your cricket ball or tennis ball, and the other behavior is the usual behavior that you expect from waves. Alright, so what were these observations? The observations which supported the wave nature of electromagnetic radiations were diffraction and interference. Okay, we'll see in a moment what do they mean. And the observations which supported particle nature were like black body radiations. There was, which we'll study today, photoelectric effect, which we'll see in a subsequent session in detail. Then there was line spectra, okay, and variation of heat capacities with temperature. So one by one we'll see what does these observations mean, alright, and how they supported the wave nature or particle nature. Okay, apart from these also there are other observations through which we can understand how electromagnetic radiations can behave as wave and how they can also behave as particle. So let's analyze the wave nature first. So I said that electromagnetic radiations are basically waves. Alright, and wave is nothing but a regular disturbance in space which is accompanied by transfer of energy. Alright, the easiest way to see how a wave acts, or the easiest way to visualize a wave, is to visualize the sinusoidal pattern of the wave. Alright, so it is a continuous pattern which starts from the source, alright, and goes towards a target or the end. Alright, and it keeps on moving in this form, alright, starting from the source each time. Okay, whereas if you think of particle, a particle is like a tennis or a cricket ball, alright, which is fixed, which is like a packet or a bundle which starts from somewhere and goes to another place. Alright, so this tennis ball will travel here and finally hit the target. Okay, it will start from the source and hit the target directly. There is no continuity in that. Alright, if you want another tennis ball over here, so you will take another ball, alright, and throw it on this target. Okay, and so on. So the wave nature was supported by the diffraction property. Alright, so electromagnetic radiations show diffraction. What is diffraction? Well, it is basically bending of light whenever it encounters an obstacle or say a slit. Alright, for example, let's say the wave is going from here to here, okay, and suddenly it faces an obstacle. Alright, so around this obstacle the light and bends itself. Okay, it no more moves in the straight line. Alright, or for example, let's say these are a series of waves, okay, moving from one end to the other, and finally they encounter an obstacle, okay, with only a slight opening. So after this opening you will observe that the waves have started moving in curved fashion. Okay, so that is they have started to bend. Alright, and how do they bend and by what angle do they bend? Alright, and which wave bends how much and in what pattern? All those we don't have to study. That is something you'll study in your physics topics. Alright, but diffraction is basically the easiest way to understand it is to say that it is bending of light when encountered by an obstacle. Alright, similarly there was another physical phenomena, interference. Okay, so interference was another experimental observation which supported that electromagnetic radiations are basically in wave form. Okay, so what is interference? Interference basically means that when two waves, alright, two waves end up at the same position at the same time, alright, that is, they are both superimposing on one another, then the resultant at that point will be the sum of those two waves. Okay, so basically the amplitude of the net wave at this point will then become sum of the amplitudes of these two waves, alright, and so on. Alright, so basically interference means that when two waves happen to be at the same place and at the same time, two different electromagnetic waves of, let's say, different wavelengths or different frequencies, then you can observe a resultant wave at that same position, which will basically be the superimposition of those individual waves. Again, we will not go into the mathematical approach, that is not in our syllabus, and that is not something that we will study in chemistry. Alright, so for now let us just see how interference is basically a wave property. Okay, if instead of waves the electromagnetic radiations happen to be, let's assume, happen to be particles. So when two particles collide, okay, at the same time at the same place, you don't see a net resultant particle, alright, instead of those two. Okay, you do not see a new particle which has twice the mass, or that is which has the mass equal to sum of the individual particles and volume equal to the sum of the individual volumes. There is no such thing there. Whenever two particles collide with each other, alright, so they will simply collide and change the directions or their velocities and go on moving, okay, as you might have done in conservation of momentum. Alright, whereas in waves it is not so. In waves you can simply say that at that same position the two waves will move simultaneously at the same time, or you can say there is a third wave which is basically a superimposition of those two waves. It can be addition or subtraction depending on how the two waves encountered each other. Okay, so these two were one of the most important properties which supported the wave nature of electromagnetic radiation. Okay, and as long as we could observe diffraction and interference, we can be sure that the electromagnetic radiation behaves as wave. Alright, so what were the observations which led to the belief that electromagnetic radiations can behave as particle also? So one of them was black body radiation. Alright, so what is black body radiation? Again, this is something that you will study in great detail with mathematical approach in your physics, alright, physics subject. But for now, black body radiation you can understand as radiations from any body, okay, a body which observes all kinds of wavelength. Okay, we have seen different wavelengths from gamma rays to radio wave, alright. So a black body is any body which can observe all these waves, alright, and then emit back all those waves again. Alright, so black body radiation is radiation due to a black body, and black body is a body which observes all wavelengths or all waves coming towards it, and it gives back or emits all the wavelengths in our electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so this black body radiation, okay, when you try to plot a graph for a black body radiations of, say, intensity of the light, alright, so this is a black body. It's like your, say, tube light. Your tube light emits light, alright, it emits electromagnetic radiation, or the bulb in your room, CFL bulb or LED bulb, okay, any bulb in your room basically emits radiation. So that radiation, for that radiation you can measure the intensity, alright, and you can also measure the wavelength of the radiations from that bulb. Okay, so for a black body, when such a graph was plotted, it was found to be of curved nature, alright, and secondly, whenever you increase the temperature of the black body, alright, it was found that the peak of the black body graph shifted towards left. Alright, so on the y-axis I have intensity. Intensity basically refers to, alright, intensity basically refers to, you can say, the power, alright, power emitted by your bulb or tube light per unit area per unit second. Okay, that is one way of measuring intensity. Alright, it is power per meter square or watt per meter square per second. So how much power is being radiated out in a unit square, in a unit meter square area in 1 second of time. Alright, and you measure the wavelengths that are emitted in that area. Okay, and you plot the graph that corresponding to each wavelength. For example, corresponding to 100 nanometer, you saw that these many rays, or basically this much power was emitted. Corresponding to 200 nanometer, this much power was emitted, and so on. So it was found that this basically peak represents the wavelength with highest intensity. Alright, that is, among all the wavelengths being emitted by your black body, this particular wavelength has the greatest intensity, or you can say greatest brightness. Alright, or you can say it is most common. In a very crude sense, you can say it is most common among all the other wavelengths from that black body. So when I increase the temperature of black body from T1 to T2, it is seen that the wavelength with maximum intensity decreases. That is, initially it was 150, it was the wavelength with 150 nanometer which had maximum intensity, but when I increase the temperature, it becomes the wavelength with say 50 nanometers which has maximum intensity. Alright, so this observation could not be and cannot yet be explained by the wave nature. Okay, this observation can only be explained if the electromagnetic radiations from black body behave as particles. Alright, now again, this is something we have seen only in a very superficial way. Alright, because this is not part of chemistry. Black body radiation is something we'll study in physics, so don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry that it is very complex and how do we go into the maths of it all. Alright, so just skip it for now. Apart from this, another observation was a photoelectric effect. Now this is something which again you will study in your physics topics, but we'll also see this in our subsequent session. Okay, photoelectric effect, we'll see it in somewhat detail, okay, in one of the sessions. So photoelectric effect also supported the particle nature. Apart from this, there was also line spectra. Okay, now line spectra is something that you study in chemistry, and again we'll take a complete lecture for this, what line spectrum is. Alright, and what do we understand and how do we plot line spectra. We'll study all that. We'll also study the maths behind line spectra. Okay, and then there is that heat capacities of bodies. So usually we consider that heat capacity of solid bodies remains constant, but the truth is that heat capacities of solid body changes with change in temperature. So that is again something which cannot be explained by the wave nature, how the heat capacity is getting changed and how the mathematical formulation of it takes place. Okay, so there were several observations which supported that electromagnetic radiations are not actually waves, but they behave like particles, the particles like a cricket ball, tennis ball and all that. Whereas there were also observations which supported that electromagnetic radiations actually behave as waves. So which of them were right? Okay, is electromagnetic radiation a wave or is it a particle? Well, we cannot actually know. Alright, so how this dilemma was sorted is something that we'll deal in the next session. Okay, so until next time, and once again, thanks for watching Edupedia World videos.